Aggregation. Aggregation is a key word with tech. If you really look at a lot of startups that are coming out, they're trying to do some level of aggregation. Of course, the aggregation market has been taken over by the big boys like Google, Amazon, Uber, Swiggy. So if you look at most of the businesses and organizations, startups and big tech companies are essentially aggregation. They are bringing different retail demand and retail supply together. So there are multiple suppliers, there are multiple uh, demands, customers. So you have multiple retail on one side and retail supply on the other side. So there's really, it's neither B2C nor B2B, any of this conventional. So it's really a C2C kind of model. If you take, for example, Uber. So you're aggregating. Now this kind of aggregation, multiple demand and multiple supply points at a small transactional retail level cannot be done without IT and technology. So so while technology for this kind of approach can be extremely expensive, and that's where you go for VC funding and marketing, generating funds. Otherwise, you will not be able to do that. But can't you do smaller setups, at a rural level, smaller level? I mean, always used this example of the internet. You have the internet, which is the whole world, but the intranet is something which you control, which is unique and much smaller, limited to your business, your organization. The intranet is yours, it's your control. And within the intranet, you can make some parts of your intranet available outside to others. So we could call that extranet. So you have the internet using the same philosophies and technology in-house as an intranet. And what you make available to your customers or suppliers on a need basis is your extranet. So you stay in control of the entire setup. So what we're suggesting in aggregation is similar. That means you could have an association. You could be a leather manufacturers association. You could be jewelers in a particular city. You could be um, all the musicians who work together. So if you have a standardization across your a set of retail needs versus a set of retail suppliers, you could do the aggregation. So this is what we are proposing under Zedge. But we are offering the platform under this. So it could be um, a, a blank sheet or a platform that allows you to do this kind of retail aggregation, C2C. So what would be required? You would need these components: the consulting component, the businessing component, the delivery component, the staffing component, and aftermarket component. That's on the left side. You would need to reach out, marketing and sales. You would have to do your order management. You'll have to execute whatever it is that you're trying to do. There's a support factor, and all this. There is always a statutory compliance in terms of taxation. So we've broadly put a percentage of how the costs could be distributed. So the actual aggregation, you could have multiple entities managing this. So you could have a consulting firm, or you could have all the statutory work done for all the aggregators by a single entity. So the space for people coming in and startups coming in and other organizations coming in and doing this aggregation uh, is what we're proposing. And we have the software, entire end-to-end IT infrastructure and end-to-end services for doing this kind of thing. And this allows us to compete with the big boys, the Amazon, the Google, and everyone else at a local level. This is a kind of approach that banks and many organizations have taken, global yet a local kind of approach. So the local can be as small or as big as you want to put it, but it does work at a level where you are able to bring your association of industry or your geography or your local area of interests together under one platform.